Okay, so lesson number one has to do with, well, where is this meal plan coming from? Who are you? Why should I even listen to you? Well, let's connect on a personal level. So in order to do that, I need to tell you my story, so you can get a feel for, who I am and where this is coming from. Okay, so here it goes. Um, well, I was a fat kid. I was a fat kid growing up. In fact, in pretty much all the way until high school, I was the fat kid in every class. And that scars you. That scars you. I felt so isolated and miserable and alone inside. My grandmother raised me and she fed me really well. She thought she was doing the best she could for her adopted son, right? I'm not her child, I'm her grandchild. Well, she fed me, she cooked great and fed me great, and I just plumped right up. But the fatter I got on the outside, the more and more isolated I felt on the inside. All growing up through elementary school and going through junior high, all I wanted was a girlfriend. I remember wanting a girlfriend so bad. I had a crush on a little girl. She was so cute. And uh, she wouldn't give me the time of day. I mean, nobody's interested in the fat nerdy kid at school. You know, children children are brutal. Children can be really savage, and you know, certainly being over fat is not well accepted when you're a kid. And I was ostracized because of that. And you know what? How it made me feel? It made me feel unlovable. I felt like nobody could love me because of the way that my body looked. In fact, I can remember late one night, I was just in the depths of depression. And I remember thinking vividly, just imagining it, picturing it in my head, taking a knife and cutting off my belly. I just wanted to separate myself from that thing that was separating me from life as I wanted to live it, from people, from love. Again, isolation and depression. So fast forward a little bit, puberty kicked in, and I got an extra surge of motivation. Right, I wanted things to be different. So I was a soccer player. So instead of being fullback and goalie, I took up the sweeper job, so that I was running constantly the entire game, and I started starving myself. Literally, lunch for me would be like 100 calories. I absolutely starved myself, and I ran all the time playing sports. And over the course of 6 months to a year, I lost about 60 pounds, and I trimmed up. And wow, what a new lease on life I had! Right? It was pretty much, it was amazing. And I remember showing a picture to a friend on my volleyball team. I played volleyball too. I showed him a picture of me as a fat kid. He didn't know me as in elementary school. And he laughed. He said, "Oh, wow, look, it's the kid who ate Schwartz." I remember that to this very day. I will never forget that because it actually came back to haunt me later in life. And that's what I'll talk about now. So, fast forward some more years, and I'm 35 years old. And I hit a wall, you guys. I absolutely hit a wall. Um, I came up to live in North Texas because my dad came down with ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease, and I came up here to take care of him in his last year of life. Landed in Ennis, Texas. Never been here before in my life, and didn't know anybody. Just that my dad was very sick and needed my help. So I took care of him that last year, but I was homebound with him. He needed full on care, right? And his wife will earn. She's got gold stars in heaven. She's got angels' wings in heaven waiting on her for real. She's a saint. But I tried to do my part. I helped him during the day while she was at work, and it was rough. So my activity level, I'm not playing sports all day anymore, running around as I did as a young adult. I had no responsibilities, no wife, no children, anything. Um, Now all of a sudden I'm sitting at home every day, very sedentary with my dad, and guess what? The weight crept back on. And over the course of that year, I wasn't exercising for hours a day or starving myself. I'm sitting at home. I gained about 60 pounds back plus another 20. I put on about 80 pounds, y'all. Yeah, I really got plump. And I remember every time I would pass a mirror as I'm packing on that weight, right? I'd look in the mirror and I'd say, "That's not me. That's not Jonas. I don't recognize that person." And depression kicked in big time. So a few years later, my first grandson was born. Okay, I'm blessed with many wonderful grandchildren through stepchildren. My first grandson was born, and I'm thinking to myself, "Oh wow, this is amazing! I'm going to have a grandson." I never had a young son of my own. My stepsons and daughters, I stepped into their lives relatively late in life. And I wasn't raised by my dad. I was raised by my granny. So this was a chance for an experience, a side of life I'd never had before. I was really excited. My grandson, we're going to throw the football. We're going to have fun. He's going to know me. He's gonna think he's got the coolest granddad ever. And I remember one day, right shortly after he'd been born, bending over on the couch just to tie my shoes. Remember, I'm 80 pounds overweight at this time. Just bending over to tie my shoes, y'all, my head nearly exploded. I mean, the blood rushed to my head. The veins are bulging out, and I'm straining to reach down to tie my shoes, and I just almost black out. And I remember coming back to consciousness. After just a brief moment, and my head is swimming, I'm dizzy, and I'm seeing stars. And I still don't know what exactly that was, a little mini stroke or a little, cardiac infarction or what, but I knew that there was no way that I could do those things with my grandson if I couldn't even bend over to tie my shoes. I thought, what a hoax. What a fantasy I'm living. Here, I want to be able to run and gun and play with my grandkid. And, dude, you can't even put on your shoes without nearly, blowing a gasket, right? I knew if number one, I wanted to live any longer, or number two, I wanted to have that life, with my loved ones, stick around for them that I wanted, that I had to make health a priority in my life. I had to change. And so, what did I do? Well, by trade, I am a researcher. I'm a college professor. And so, what did I do? I started researching. And if you have looked around the internet or libraries or anything else, you have seen that there is so much information about getting healthy and fit and it's all conflicting. It's all contradictory. Look, you guys, I told you I'm a professor. I'm a philosophy professor, and philosophy rests upon logic. And the first rule of logic is the law of non contradiction. Things that say opposite things cannot both be right. It can't all be right. When you have conflicting statements, then one's true, one's false. So how do we figure this out? Oh my gosh! Luckily, or through God's blessing, I stumbled upon a very competent coach who showed me how to do scientific research, who showed me how to do meta-analyses of different scientific studies, and to really crunch that data. Okay. But not only that, he wasn't just a nerd who could research papers and scientific studies. He was also a practitioner. He was that rare person who not only can have theoretical knowledge, but also figure out how to implement it practically in daily life. And look, you guys, I don't care how much you know, and you probably know a lot of eggheads who, can quote you every single step in the energy cycle. How we convert dietary energy into actual energy that we use, kinetic energy, right? You probably know people who can quote the answers from the back of the book, but don't have a clue how to put it into practice themselves. This guy was different. He not only had theory, he'd mastered theory, but he had figured out how to implement it in real life, okay, in practicality. And working with him over the course, it took me about a year, but I lost those 80 pounds, and I started putting on muscle, and man, life has been different. Not only did my health markers come back in line, but I started to feel good about myself. I started to feel lovable. My confidence level rose. I had energy. I was strong. And you know what? That continues to this day. I am the granddad who plays on the jungle gym and stuff with my grandkids. I'm up on the water slides with them. That's me. I'm that guy. You know what? I don't care what anybody says. That is an amazing feeling. That is an amazing feeling. So look, that's what I want for you. That's what I want for you. Um, I'm sorry to get so long winded, but it's my story, and we all have our stories. And I would really, really love it if you would share a bit of yourself in our group. Just post an introduction, say who you are, maybe where you're from, what's your family situation, what kind of goals are you working on, where are you at in your life. It can be as short as you want it to be. At least post, hey, I'm Jim from Nebraska. Hi. Uh, you know, it, it helps to share our stories and to relate and to realize that you're not alone, that there are other people out there struggling with the same things. So I'll cut this video here, and you go on and post an introduction in the group. And tomorrow, or in the next lesson, if you want to binge watch it, Jackie will tell you her story too, and you'll get an idea of who we are and why we do what we do. Anyway, love y'all. Thanks for watching.